In this video, I'm going to show you how to rap like Tech N9ne and explain why he is such a genius with his rap flow by breaking down his verse on his song called Face Off, which features Joey Cool, King ISO, and Dwayne Johnson. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using a dope instrumental that I produced called Dojo. If you like this beat, I'll post a link to it in the video's description below. Now, let's begin by listening to Tech N9ne's verse, and then we'll break down each quadrant of his verse so you can start using some of these techniques in your songs.
When I fight my foes, I'ma hit them with this. You about to get your ass kicked. My technique is so sick, I'm about to make the hit quick. Whole of the muscle, you don't wanna be in a tussle. Better than me, that's rubble. You want trouble? What's up though? Feelings hot to kill a top gorilla, dropping nail to pops and grill the eye. For real, your clock and yield to stop your will. A shot the deal was knock you till you plop. I got the hell coming your way. You softer than the thing in your plate. Never competitive with a better kid to go great. Gonna be there because I'm better to the low grade. When you wake up in that red blood, ain't no way you about to get up. How you know that I text your ass? Cause you got the motherfucking check stub. Always gonna have to pay cost when you stepping in my way, boss. When I build still and you stay soft, you're gonna punk out when we face off.
Now, one thing I love about Tech N9ne's verse is the beginning of his verse almost feels like his own hook that he created just for his own section of the song. It's because he's not using as much of the more aggressive 32nd notes. So like for the first two bars, he's using primarily like 16th notes and 8th notes, which is why this section of his verse feels so dramatically different than the rest of his verse. And let's break it down a little bit more in detail. So on bar 1, beat 1, Tech could have held the word bip for an 8th note, but he decided to make it shorter and turned it into a 16th note. And this created a short 16th note pause right after it, which gave the beginning of this bar a nice groove. And also on beat 2, Tech does something similar and makes his third 16th note, which is the word with, more staccato, which means shorter. And this makes his cadence feel less smooth and more rigid and aggressive. And the two 8th notes that he's using here, leading into beat 3 and also on the second half of beat 4, these 8th notes really allow his cadence to breathe and feel less aggressive and just more smooth. And there's really nothing too much to add about bar 2. He's pretty much keeping that same exact cadence pattern going for this bar as well. But on bar 3, Tech N9ne builds off of his previous cadence and he kicks it up a notch by sprinkling in some 32nd notes within the first and third beat sections of the bar. He also shifts his 8th notes from where he was landing on bars 1 and 2, which was leading into the third beats and landing on the second half of the fourth beats. But now his 8th notes are now landing on the second 16th note of beat 2 and the second 16th note of beat 4, which just creates a nice overall shift in energy. It's almost like he's getting more aggressive and moving in closer on you musically. And on bar 4, he continues to build upon his cadence just a little bit more by placing two 32nd notes on the first beat with the word better and eliminating the short pause he's had on the previous 3 bars. He also leads into the third beat with two 32nd notes, which adds some nice aggression. He also adds an additional 8th note on the second 16th note of the third beat, which really adds a nice smooth texture to the groove of this bar. These 8th notes allow the cadence to pull back just a little bit, which makes his cadence feel like it's going forward and backwards at times, like in and out. He's doing a great job of creating movement within these 4-bar sections. So keep all of that in mind as we play it back.
My tripping is the highest when I fight my foes. I'ma hit them with this. You about to get your ass kicked. My technique is so sick, I'm about to make the hit quick. Whole of the muscle, you don't wanna be in a tussle. Better than me, that's rubble. You want trouble? What's up though?
Now on bar 5, Tech N9ne switches to a new cadence, which has a different feel, a different groove, which has a triplet feel to it. And he's using a combination of triplet notes, 16th notes, and 32nd notes. Also, Tech N9ne is really good with using swing, and he does a lot of fast rapping, and so it's even more difficult to hear how precisely that he's actually shifting where his words are landing. So for an example, on this bar, he's placing his rhyme slightly after the snare on the second beat with the word top. Let's see if you can hear it. Listen to that first snare. I'm gonna play it directly on the second beat, directly on the snare. Listen how you hear the snare briefly. Hear that? Hear the snare first, and then he comes in slightly after it. Now let's take it back just a little bit further and listen to it. Hear that? Right after that snare. That's intentional. He's adding a little bit of a late swing to it. And he does that a lot, actually. And on bar 6, Tech is basically doing the same thing as before. You'll notice by my visuals that there are some subtle differences, but in essence, it's the same cadence and groove as before. And this is a great example of why you should never box yourself into a cadence 100%, especially if it's causing your lyrics to suffer, because there's so many ways that you can change a cadence in subtle ways and it still feel pretty much the same. Also notice how Tech leads into this bar with a 32nd note at the end of the bar before it. And this is a great reminder that you don't have to wait until a bar begins to begin your next cadence. And on bar 7, Tech really starts heating things up by using more 32nd notes than any of his bars before. And this is giving his cadence movement and it's building up energy. And on bar 8, Tech N9ne redlines his rap flow and pushes his energy pretty much to the max as he fills in nearly the whole bar with 32nd notes. But notice how he still uses 2 16th notes on beats 2 and 4 for his rhymes. And this allows his rhymes just to have a little bit more space. It allows them to pop out almost like 3D. They just stand out a little bit more than all the really fast 32nd notes so they can be heard more clearly. And also take notice how Tech places a long pause on beat 4. And what he's doing here is he's setting up a shift into lower energy cadences for his next 4 bars that are coming after to provide some rest after creating such a climatic build as he's done here. Let's take a listen to this.
That's trouble, you want trouble, what's up though? Feelings hot to kill a top gorilla, dropping nails to pops and grill the op. For real, your clock and guild to stop your wheel, a shot to deal with, knock you till you plop. I got the hell coming your way, you softer than the thing you play. Never competitive with a better kid to go great. Gonna be there because I fed it to the moon grave. When you wake up.
And as I just mentioned, on bar 9, the energy drops a bit and Tech is using fewer 32nd notes. However, this is still a similar groove as before, just with less energy. Notice how he's still placing the longer notes with his rhymes on the 2nd and 4th beat with the words wet blood and get up. And on bar 10, he's adding just a little bit more energy by getting rid of the longer notes on beat 2 and filling them in with some 32nd notes and 16th notes. However, he still keeps the 2 16th notes for his rhyme scheme in place on beat 4. And on bar 11, Tech drops the energy just a little bit more by using an 8th note pause for the second half of the 2nd beat. And he's doing this intentionally. What he's doing is he's creating space so then he can fill in this space on the next bar to give his cadence one last lift of energy, which gives it a climatic ending. Now let's check that out.
I got the hell coming your way, you softer than the thing you play. Never competitive with a better kid to go great. Gonna be there because I fed it to the moon grave. When you wake up in that red blood, ain't no way you about to get up. How you know that I text your ass cause you got the motherfucking check stub? Always gonna have to pay cost when you stepping in my way, boss. When I build still and you stay soft, you're gonna punk out when we face off.
And one thing that's really super important to remember is we just got really nerdy. I'm breaking down graphs and showing you the science behind what Tech N9ne is doing. But we're not thinking this analytically while we're rapping and coming up with our rap flows and structuring things. We're doing this stuff by ear. But this is just breaking it down to help you understand what's going on underneath the hood. The main takeaways is this: understanding how to create dynamics, how to create builds, how to build energy, how to take back energy, and how to incorporate really aggressive stuff using 32nd notes right here. And also that swing that I pointed out to you on that snare. Play around with all these techniques, know them, realize them, be mindful of them, and play around with them on the next track that you're working on. And if you're wanting to dig even deeper into perfecting your rap flow, stay tuned because I'm about to come out with a rap course that's going to help you take your rap flow to a whole nother level. And if you're watching this in the future, I'll be sure to post a link to it in the video description below. And if you're new here, make sure that you pick yourself up a free copy of my ebook, The #1 Fundamental to Rapping, via the link in the video description below. And subscribe to this channel for more straight to the point, no BS, how to rap video tutorials just like this one. And always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules. There's only techniques. Peace. Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it.